We are back for our second attempt to record a Lucha Underground review. This is episode 22, season 3. We were in the wrong room in the TeamSpeak, and someone interrupted us. Someone who remained nameless. Someone named Jeff. Byron, say hello to the people.
No.
But you should. They're the people. They're our fans. They adore us.
Both of them?
All 4 of them, yeah. Let us just break it in here. We open up with Pentagon Dark in Dario Cueto's office. Dario is making up the bracket for the Dario Cueto Cup, which will dominate most of this evening's festivities. He wants Black Lotus, who apparently has gone back to Hong Kong, which makes their having Japanese wrestlers kind of, I don't know. Whatever. He threatens that he will break Dario. Dario gives him a match in Lucha or Cueto Cup with the promise that he will leave Ultimo Lucha with Aztec Gold. And Pentagon accepts, but finishes off by saying he will break Dario if he doesn't leave Ultimo Lucha with said gold. Quick, sufficient, to the point. Take us through Mala Suerte versus the Maxer.
This was a match. Pretty much. There's not really much to tell. I mean, there was some good comedy spots here and there. They worked the crowd really well. It's not entirely memorable. It was just a pretty good match.
Yep, a little bit of comedy, a little bit of chain wrestling that was a little clunky, to be honest. Neither of these guys are particularly great at it, but they are getting better, and that's really all that matters. Mala Suerte, who was Mr. Cisco, is actually becoming a pretty sufficient wrestler, which is nice to see. He's good at working the crowd, good at working some comedy spots, and proficient at doing all the technical stuff. He did a really nice release German suplex in this match, and also a very nice crucifix bomb. One botch to talk about. Mac hit a big Willie slam, but Mala Suerte did actually have his shoulder up because it was on Mac's leg, so he was not pinned for the near fall. But aside from that, it was fine. Mac wins with a pounce and a stunner for a 3 count and moves on to the final 16. Cage is backstage, working out with the Gauntlet. Nothing really tremendous here. Dario wants Cage to go meet Councilman Delgado, and Cage kind of doesn't really sell that he's going to do it. He does end up doing it, though, and we'll talk more about that later.
Spoilers!
Argenis versus Pentagon Dark. This was a pretty stiff match, with Pentagon really laying into Argenis pretty good. Not a full-on squash, but pretty squash-like. Argenis got some offense in, but it was never sustained. He got a couple of near falls, basic kind of desperation, going for anything he could get. And in the end, Pentagon hits a package pile driver, aka a Stabilizer,
Indeed.
for the 3 count. Do you have anything to add?
I don't think it's as stiff as you think it was. Pentagon style works really well. He makes it look really stiff, but it's not.
Yeah, no, I'm all about the illusion. I don't care about how she'll put this, the actual stiffness of the match. If I wanted a stiff 100% match, I'd go watch Brain Damage.
Fair enough, but if you're gonna say something stiff, it actually has to be stiff.
Fair enough. It appears stiff, and that is the great illusion of Pentagon.
Correct.
Pentagon collects another arm, which I did hope that it was the other arm, the one that he didn't break last time, because that would just be neat. That'd be like a little attention to detail. I'm actually going to go back and look at the first Argenis arm break and see if that checks out.
Nice.
Then we had Texano versus Famous B. Take it away, Byron.
Yeah, basically it was almost a finger poke of doom because Famous B's trying to recruit him, and then Texano says no, and then gives him a power bomb, gets his ass slapped by Famous Brenda, and then that's the end of the match.
Yep, seems kind of into Brenda, not into Famous B. Although Brenda, too much vocal work in this match.
Yeah, whoever put the mic on her needs to be fired, because you can hear her over everything else, including the commentary, all the guys in the ring. The guy who's over Famous B, who's on the house mic, You can hear her shrieking over him. Audio. Come on, this is supposed to be a TV show.
Yeah, that was a little disappointing. Then we had a Rey Mysterio Johnny Mundo hype package with The Voice, Michael Chavallo!
Indeed.
I enjoyed it. Then we move on to our final match of the evening, Draggo versus Aerostar. Draggo comes out with Cobra Moon. This is, of course, the 7th time they've met in singles competition, and the unfortunate thing about it is that I do believe these two could have a really good match, because I was saying if they have 15 minutes in the ring, 5 of it is like really smooth, really good, and the other 10 minutes seems like they're overthinking things, perhaps. I don't know what the deal is. They just kind of have negative chemistry for parts of the match, and I accept that the fans are hot for this, and I'm in perhaps the minority in the sense that I don't particularly enjoy these matches. Could be completely wrong, but I just don't. Would you like to add anything?
Yeah, these are not good matches. I've never seen... They said that, they're going to meet for the 7th time. And I'm like, that's not selling me the match, dude. I have never really enjoyed either guy's wrestling. It's just a bunch of moves. Most of them are way too overcomplicated and done slowly. I.e., the Dragon's Tail pin that takes, I think, about 30 seconds to do. So why would you ever bother? Why wouldn't you just do like a crucifix bomb and then grab his leg? It's the same thing. This was just a bunch of moves that occasionally happened. There was no storytelling other than having Cobra Moon at ringside screaming murder things in Spanish. There's nothing going on here. It's just two guys in a ring that pull off a move every 20-30 seconds until the match is over. And every 6 or 8 matches that Aerostar has, he'll have at least 2 minutes in one of those 6 to 8 matches that is interesting and well put together, and the rest of it is, again, just him doing a series of moves that are classified as lucha libre until that match is over. And I don't understand. I understand that people in the studio have to cheer because that's part of the gimmick and that's part of the thing. You probably, I don't know if they're selling tickets to this or if these people are just getting let in for free as long as they react hot to the thing. But the crowd on hand should probably not be trusted with all of your booking decisions. It's just my opinion.
Yeah, but I've heard people really like Draggo and Aerostar online. I don't know.
I don't know who these people are.
I'm clearly missing something that they enjoy about it.
Yeah, I have no idea who these people are or why their opinion would be that. That doesn't make any sense.
Hey, if you pay money for it, you got an opinion that counts, I suppose.
I suppose.
I will say Aerostar did do a hell of a suicide dive out to the outside into the wooden chair section.
Oh yeah,
that was good.
Forehead first, straight into the chair.
Yeah, that looked like it sucked. Cobra Moon with a little bit of interference, very light interference, and Draggo gets the pin with the aforementioned Whip of the Dragon's Tail, which I swear Stryker called Whip of the Dragon's Lair.
He did.
Yeah, I don't really.
I'm not sure where Whip of and or Lair came into this because it's just always been the Dragon's Tail pin.
Yeah, I mean I can buy Whip of the Dragon's Tail. Makes sense. It's a little too long for what is just a pinning maneuver, but I mean, okay.
Yeah, name's too long, pin's too long. It's all too long. This is like the time at work where I found out that some of my coworkers were, instead of hard resetting phones, they were, in their lingo, they were cold rebooting them. And that's not a thing that's a thing. So you can't whip a Dragon's Lair and you can't cold reboot something. It's not how this works.
Yeah. I would have preferred to have Aerostar go over here because of two things. it would have told a better story with Drago's kind of brainwashing if it failed here, if like he had a moment where he couldn't do it to Aerostar, sort of thing, and it let Aerostar get the pin, and we went back to him being kind of tortured for a bit, and like a slow breakdown, bring it up slowly until he's either broken by Cobra Moon or he rebels, whichever direction you want to go. And also, you're moving on to face Pentagon Dark, who, despite the face reactions, is, quote, a heel. Aerostar would have been better in that match from that point of view. Not that I think either of them are. Drago's the better worker, so I'm happy in that regard. But storyline, Aerostar going over here would have been a little bit better. Draggo gives him a little bit of post-match beatdown, but nothing really significant. And then Cage visits City Hall with Councilman Lorenzo Lamas Delgado. And they have some back and forth. And, well, my notes literally say here, after some discussion, he kills him. So, yes. There you go. Would you like to add anything to that?
It's probably just a clone of Councilman Delgado, and or he can be resurrected by evil powers. So that's
we've already brought people back from the dead in this series. So yep. He could be brought back, although his head was destroyed, apparently.
No one's fucking head has exploded up till now, but I'm sure it can be done. Just, Dario, wave the Red Bull around and it'll be fine.
Yeah. This was not a particularly good episode of Lucha Underground. It was one of the worst.
It's a setup to other things.
But I was about to get to that. It was a setup for the tournament, so it served its purpose, even if the quality of in-ring action was not particularly high. And in fairness, this didn't have their best workers. I mean, the Mac and Pentagon I rate highly, but Texano, Argenis, and Draggo are kind of... They're just there. Not even Argenis. Aerostar, Draggo, and Texano are just there. Famous B is not really a worker at this point. And then
he is good at his job.
He's good at being a manager. He's good at being a mouthpiece. And Malice Huerta, while very much improving, Mr. Cisco was very raw when he started working with the company. I don't believe he had a great deal of experience. And it did show.
Yarp.
So, that's part of it. If you really like the Aerostar Draggo stuff, perhaps you were more positive on the show. Again, I'm told there are people who are in that camp. But I'm just not one of them, and you're not one of them.
Nope.
So, not a bad show, but not one that I'd go out of my way to see.
It's probably important to watch in the course of things, but it wasn't particularly fantastic. It was serviceable.
In comparison, Raw was probably better, actually.
Well, parts of Raw were definitely better.
But like there were parts of Raw that I marked out for. It didn't really mark out for anything here. Outside of maybe the crucifix bomb for Malice Huerta. That was actually pretty good.
The face first into the block of wood was pretty good. We both went, oh shit!
Oh yeah, that's true.
That was pretty much it.
Yeah. So maybe 2 spots I really got behind. Decent story development. Again, not bad, but nothing I'd watch again.
Yep.
So that is all for us for tonight. Tomorrow night, we're going to be back at you with a SmackDown review and maybe 205 Live, or maybe we'll do this as a package deal with NXT again.
Maybe.
Also, there will be a new episode of Lucha Underground coming out tomorrow, so we'll have that as well.
Maybe.
Indeed. Hopefully we get something a little more positive the whole way through, because Raw was very hit and miss, and this was kind of just there. So, hopefully we get something... Hopefully we get a very solid 205 Live or a next episode of Lucha Underground that makes us get a little excited again. We're a little lacking on the hype. We are not hype right now.
We ain't hype.
We will be, though. We will be.